Frank Shickel Sr., how are you, sir? We don't get a chance to see you very much.
Doing good.
Are you coming to races every week?
Most every week. Yeah.
Okay.
I try to.
Now,
every week.
it seems that it's just a year or two that you were driving race cars. How long has it been since you've been out?
This is the second year.
So, well, I guess it has been that.
Yeah.
Okay. And what kept you going so long?
I just love it. I'd like to be doing it now, but I didn't want to spend another $60,000 to stay in. You know how the competition is.
That's an insane amount of money.
Yeah. I mean, I just love doing it, but I'd have had to bought everything new, and you know, I mean, I didn't have the equipment.
When did you start racing?
I actually started. I raced some go-karts first, but for just very few years. And I run both. But I think it was in the late 60s.
And where was that?
Well, the go-karts I run everywhere. I started when I got into stock cars. It was maybe late 60s, about 70. And I run here. I run Macon part of the time. I run Lincoln. I run Springfield. I go to Peoria some.
Okay.
We just run.
Anywhere you could.
Yeah, we'd run at least 3 nights a week if we could do it. You know.
And how big was your crew?
Well, usually 2, maybe 3 guys.
Okay. And so you'd get home from the racetrack at 1 or 1 o'clock in the morning, and then up bright and early the next day to kind of wrench on the car, or still do it the overnight?
Well, it's according. I mean, if I had to work on it overnight for the next day, we would. But, you know, of course, when we went to Lincoln, we didn't get home till that was the old track now.
Okay, I don't know about that track.
No, that was across the road from where the one is now.
Okay.
That was the good old days. That's when you seen some of them cars like that.
What was racing like back then compared to now?
No comparison. I mean, I don't know exactly how to explain it. It just, you know, back then, money was very hard to come by for somebody like me with a family and everything.
Sure.
And but you know, you could just go out. Well, we all know you go out and get your parts, get them reasonable, you build what you could, and this and that. And today it's just got. It's fast today, but it's just not the same. I mean, you know, you can't. You gotta. Today it's like a business, and if you like me, where there's me and Scotty working on a car, and you've got to come in the pits and you've got to change 15 things. You know how that goes before you go into the next race. And we didn't hardly have time to do it, especially had to run a semi. And so you didn't have the car ready half the time. And back then you could come in, if you didn't crash it, put fuel in it, get ready to go back out again.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay.
That's what I'm comparing to. And dollar-wise, I mean, we know that.
The newspaper had a good long accounting of your career this year. You were just inducted into the Illinois Stock Car Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
That was very nice. I sure appreciated that.
And tell me a little bit about the racing family, the racing Shickels.
Yeah.
Tell me, let's run down everybody who raced and what they're doing now. Let's do that.
Well, when I had the kids racing, when my kids were 11 and 12 years old, they were about as good a help as I could have. They were very good. And they were running mechanics races then.
Okay.
And a couple of times, my wife, my aunt, didn't know who was in the cars. They come out of the stands, they were really screaming. And you probably remember that. They run good. And Junior, you know, both of them, Donnie and Junior and Eddie. Well, Donnie and Junior mainly were the ones. They were the ones that really worked hard.
Okay.
And they were running mechanic races when they were 11 and 12. And they won some. And so then, Junior, when he was 16, Mike Gardner was coming down here then. We were pretty good friends with Mike. And Mike said, well, I got this car. He said, I want to get rid of this one. And I said, well, said, Junior can pay me for that whenever he gets money. I said, well, okay. He said, you don't have to pay me. You do that when he gets it. So anyway, it wasn't long until that motor blowed up. So I just built it back up and got it. Lasted. I mean, it wasn't Tom's fault. It's just that way. So we got it going. It was a big one. We were a big one. So then Donnie, that was a few years later. Donnie was, well, the grandson Flip. He was, I guess he was 4 years old. So then we got him started racing. Donnie started doing a little racing about then. Donnie was probably 21 maybe. And then Donnie run Peoria most. He was running over there. It would be like what you call a sportsman class or whatever. And well, when Flip got in the quarter midgets, then Donnie just quit. And Flip run quarter midgets and then half midgets till he was about 14. And then he got into it. So, of course, Junior was already in it. And then Eddie, well, left him out. He got into maybe Eddie was first car he had was a pink Mustang. That's what it was. Him and Larry Brandon both Peoria. It's a pink Mustang.
And let's catch up with they involved much in racing as fans now, or
yeah,
where's everybody at? What's everybody doing?
Well, Lisa now.
Lisa.
She got into it here a few years ago, but now she's having kids. But no, right now Junior comes up here and meets me some nights. He's awful busy right now.
Sure.
And he's just about got rid of everything.
Okay.
Everybody's out at the Shickels are out right now.
Okay.
I mean,
how does that make you feel?
Well, I'd like to see somebody running. I'd like to be the one. But, you know, I guess in a way it makes you feel kind of strange.
Because you started a fairly long dynasty here of, you know, racing.
It was kind of bad. I figured somebody would still be running. Flip, he's just involved in other stuff. And, of course, Lisa, like I say, of course, Junior had her car and his both. And Junior's tires too.
What are some of your favorite memories of racing here at Fairbury?
Oh, I guess a lot of them. The championships were real good, you know, and Jack Tyne and me, I mean, that was not only him, Tom Myers, you know, Sammy Lee, Lynn, everybody were all great. But I mean, Jack and me, even after Lynn retired and stuff, Jack and me were always, you know,
having at it.
The parties all night long. and battling, and I mean, you know, we had a lot of good times.
There were also some not good times, and I've heard stories about a wreck and a flag stand in Farmer City with Frank Shickel.
Yeah?
Tell me about that.
Well, the rear end somehow, the center bolt broke in it. And I was going down the straightaway, and all of a sudden the car, I was just at the flag stand. I was leading the feature, and all of a sudden the car went to the flag stand.
And that was a pretty serious wreck.
I was still, I trying to get my brake on, but I was wide open. The car went left. Fred Peters took off running, of course, you know, the flag. And I mean, it was a sudden start. That's it.
What injuries did you have from that?
Shattered my kneecap, broken through it. I even hit my mouth on the
steering wheel. Yeah. You're not the first person today that's mentioned that they've had that kind of an injury.
Yeah, it shattered my kneecap up pretty bad. But we got it all fixed up. I mean, it's pinned and wired together. The doctor, that was in, I was 41 then. I was 81. And the doctor told me that in a few years, he says, since you want to race, I'm going to patch you up. I'm going to go ahead. A few years, that Capital had to come out. I still got it today. Almost. 35 years later or whatever.
Congratulations on the Stock Car Hall of Fame.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
That's a neat honor.
That was really, that's something that made all my racing well worth it. You know, as much as I enjoyed racing, when that came along, even if I never race again, or none of the families race again, at least that's a good ending. That's how it should. I mean, I hope somebody races again. I hope somebody comes out the car and lets me drive it. That's what I'd like to do. But it's just too expensive now. I mean, I guess I could get a lower class car, but man, spend more than that now than you would.
I hear you spend a lot of money even with a modified. You can drive 10,000 if that's the case.
Oh, modifieds got some motors like we run.
Yeah.
Late models. I mean, and street stocks. Some of them got 10,000, 12,000 hours in the motor.
Absolutely.
And you're not running for that much money.
No, it's just not. You know, I suppose if I found a car that was real cheap and I knew it'd be a winner, then I'd really love that one to race late models. But I've thought about maybe, you know, they got a steel block press. And I've had a couple of guys mention something about it. And I said, that's something like a late model. It's not the same.
The crate cars?
Well, it's kind of like that. It's what they call a steel block.
Okay.
It's not a crate, actually. But you got the same motor. It's just not aluminum heads, not aluminum. Okay. And no dry sumps, nothing like that. But it's what they call a steel block. Okay. But it's not a crate. A crate can run it if they want to. But those guys got some pretty good horsepower. Okay. They get a lot of money in it. So I mean, not like these $70,000 things. That's ridiculous.
Somebody mentioned the motor with a huge price tag, and I don't even want to say what they said these motors are costing.
I know.
And that's insane.
$60,000.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I didn't know if somebody was pulling my leg.
No,
they mentioned that, and I don't believe somebody's dropping $60,000 in the motor. But if you've seen that,
you can buy heads for $30,000 and $40,000.
Strange world.
They just keep changing every year.
Yeah.
You know, like me, I went out about 5 years ago, and I went down and I got a motor, and it had the heads. My God, next year there was a different head. It cost me another $20,000. Then the next year another. I'm sitting out there with my 18-3 head. You know what I mean?
2 years out of date.
Yeah. And you know, that's what's happening today. It's always changing. And
I hear a bunch of motors running out there. We ought to go see what's happening over there.
Yeah, they're probably warming up.